Coming to you live from the Wire Road. This is Optimal Play. Hold still. I'm Brandon.
I'm Jordan.
And this is Bender, one of the refugees that we picked up.
Hi, Bender.
In Chapter 4.
You cost a lot of rations.
Yeah, you do. We do go through a lot of rations with you. Bender was just particularly chill right now, so I thought he could join for the start of our video. He's already growing less chill. He is our 16-week-old corgi puppy. And he's a very good boy. Huh, Bender? And he was just filling me in on what happened last time. It's been, we lost some momentum. It's been a while since we recorded.
It's been a long time. Yeah.
It was like over our kind of holiday break that we played 4 chapters of this. Yeah. Yeah, it's
August.
I've trickled those videos out, so it's not actually been that long since the last one came out. Yeah. But for us, it's been like 7 months since we last played.
Yeah, I was at the dentist this week, and they were like, "Oh, okay, your next cleaning will be in 4 months." So that puts us into December, and I was like, "Oh my god, the year is almost over."
Oh, that's okay. I'm ready for the election year to be over.
I'm having a good time now.
That's true. I'm having a lot better time.
Yes.
Yeah, I did not necessarily anticipate how big a shift in my in my mental state.
Totally. It's way better. Oh my god.
From Biden's decision, but yeah, definitely a more pleasant summer.
Yeah, I went from not consuming any political content, or very little, other than like the daily every day, to listening to like 3 episodes of Pod Save America a week, like really like tuning in. It's been kind of fun. Anyway,
it is. It's a lot more fun. Yeah.
I was definitely sorry to like announce our political views on stream.
Oh no. I'm Optimal Play endorses Kamala. Yeah, I'm comfortable saying it. Yeah. Vote this November.
And, yes. Yeah. Please do. Yeah.
Anyway,
if you're anything like us, or I don't know if you're getting these too, but this video is probably preceded by an ad from Kamala asking you to donate.
Oh, I paid for YouTube.
Not next week. Dad's like, not next week, not tomorrow, but today.
Oh, I've seen those on Instagram. Okay. I pay for YouTube Premium, so I never see YouTube ads.
There you go. That's smart.
Anyway, we're here for Story Chapter 5. And as Bender had just been reminding me, he wasn't alive yet, actually, last time we played Oathsworn.
Wow, that's crazy.
We had run into a kind of a tribe that tried to kill us as we were wandering the woods, which in Oathsworn are a very, very dangerous place.
The Deepwoods.
The Deepwoods, right. We survived that encounter. Oh, ow, Bender. And then, even though Mediolius, your priest character, did get downed in the fight, so we have our first knockout on our character, or on our free company sheet. And then we saved some. It was one of those fights where there were like NPC good guys that we could rescue, so we saved some of them, added them to the refugees that we need to be feeding.
So we currently have 6 refugees plus Bender.
Right. Yep, that's you, buddy. One of them was Lady Alana, who is an ally character card. Her only significance in the story, the only thing separating her from all the refugees with no name tag seems to be her beauty and the fact that she profusely thanked us. So,
and we have a card for her.
Well, yeah, that too. But the card might as well be blank, right? It doesn't have any... Well, it's like she's going to be a non-combat.
It's going to say if Lady Alana is one of your allies or something.
Yeah. So we had the choice whether to let her join us, but it was like either let her join your party or, abandon her in the forest. Right. Not that hard a choice, I guess. Right. So that brings us to Chapter 5, where we found the Wire Road right at the end.
Right.
Like one more person got like yanked out into the darkness from the back of the party traveling along the Wire Road, and that was the end of Chapter 4. Yeah. I think he's getting bitey.
Do you want me to read this opening while you put him back in his
bed? That sounds perfect. Okay. Why don't you start us off? Say bye, Bender.
Bye, Bender. Okay, we're in the Deepwood. Hunger and cold gnaw at you, and the remaining survivors from Bastogne. The constant rain has not helped, and the column slogs along behind you in thick trails of mud. The retreat from Bastogne has not been easy. A week of keeping these people alive with one hand on the Wire Road has been exhausting. Rations are now reduced to stale crumbs. Bandages are all used, and morale is frayed. Yesterday, several refugees gave in to the horror and simply ran into the woods to embrace the inevitable. It was swift, which is what they wanted. In the back of your mind, all you noticed was less mouths to feed. As you force yourselves and those in your charge forward into the woods, you see a shift in the colors ahead. Not green after green. Something stark. Walls.
Ooh.
Open mystery envelope B, which is...
We may have peeked ahead and done that. Yes, it is the city of Varum.
Which, as you may recall, is where we were heading when we left Bastogne.
So we did it.
So we did.
Yeah.
Place the Chapter 5 time track beneath it. We've done that. Place the free company marker on location 13. And take the Path A card, which we don't really need.
13?
3, sorry.
3, King's Gate.
3,
okay.
And Path A, which I
the app.
Need,
we're using the iPad app as we go, and that does it for us.
Alrighty.
The remaining survivors from
we need to... let's just... That should do the trick, yeah.
Alright. Would you like to read the next?
Sure. So, we're at 0 time, and location 3, the King's Gate. The tree's thin, not by nature, but by hatchet and axe. The Deepwood is fought here in a battle for sanity. Pulling from the tree line, you see the mighty walls of Varum. You glance back behind you into the woods. The line you lead is long and weak. The trees are swaying in a disconcerting manner, as if trying to keep you in. You urge the broken people forward. They cheer as they see the walls. Cries of thanks and sobbing break out at the sight of them. Some 60 feet high and bristling with spikes at the base, the walls stand vigil against all that would threaten the city. Framed in the light of the rising sun, you can make out patrols of heavily armed guards walking the parapets and watchmen on the walls. Massive gates rise high in their midst, and the great iron bowl of Varum glares at you from atop the gate's towers.
Which I think this might be an illustration of in the corner of the map.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There's a bowl here.
The great iron bowl of Varum. Okay, so it's a statue or sculpture.
Yeah, something like that.
That doesn't look like it's iron, but maybe that is an artist's depiction of the bowl itself.
Yeah.
Or
it doesn't look like iron, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's this, actually. Although that looks more like gold. But it is more of a sculpture bull.
Yeah, we can see kind of like crests with bulls on them. That seems to be a big part of kind of the iconography, I guess, of this community of Varum, yeah. As you approach, still 30 paces away, a horn sounds through the air, causing all to look up and halt. Atop the walls above the gate, a dozen guards part and make way for a man with a gleaming helmet topped with a feathered blue plume. I just feel like that's in the out of Monty Python. That's something about the guards parting for one person who's not dirty, wearing a gleaming helmet with a feather, a blue feather. He strides forward and extends a warning arm to your company. Bastogne has fallen. That is all that is left. Open the gates, you call. What in the name of the one is this? He shouts, ignoring the fact that you have spoken at all, gesturing to the refugees milling behind you. You expect to be allowed anywhere near the walls of Varum? These gates do not open for mobs that emerge from the Deepwood. We choose one of these 3 choices. Show him the oath marks on your arms, tell him you have civilians and children with you, sick and wounded, or tell him you have something to trade for entrance.
So, I'm torn. He's clearly a religious person because he's calling out the one, which is capitalized. So I'm wondering if he'll care more about the oath marks or the refugees, but I'm guessing the oath marks.
That was my instinct, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really see how that can go too wrong, right? It seems like the Oathsworn would be accepted by a big city.
You'd think so.
Yeah. Okay, we're going with that?
Sure.
You roll up your sleeves and step forward. Perform a threatening check.
Oh, no.
Difficulty 6. And then there's just buttons to press if we succeed or fail.
Oh.
We need.
That's a really hard test, right?
I think so. I mean, yeah, and for these, again, we're a little rusty. For these checks, it's all white, right? Yeah. And we can just choose how many we want to draw.
We might want to roll because I feel like not drawing 2 blanks is pretty
You think we need above average luck, basically, in a way that the cards are not likely to provide?
Yeah. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a strong preference, I guess. The card, right now we have a fresh deck of cards. It should, in theory, be exactly the same odds as dice.
How many do you want to draw?
6? 5?
I think 5. Or maybe even 4, because if you're not drawing blanks, you might have to be drawing a certain number of
cards. Yeah, and you can, the 2s crit and draw another card, or some of them do. Okay, 4? And then we need to decide which character is doing it, right? Because they may reap the repercussions if it goes badly.
The warbear looks scariest, maybe?
That's true, yeah. I think the warbear would be threatening. Okay. 2. There we go. Good start. Oh no! 2 crits and 2
first
blanks.
I'll draw the crits.
Yep. Oh no, a blank and a 1.
So I do have a reroll.
Okay. That's right, because yeah, if you turn a blank into even a 1, we pass, right?
Yeah. So let's do. I can reroll as many dice as I want, or just one.
I think it's 1 die per token.
Yeah, that's probably. I mean, I don't remember, but that could easily be right.
Okay. Yeah.
So this one's gone.
Okay.
And let's hope for the best here.
There we go. All right, we succeeded. Captain is a hard man, but not without sense. Considering your words, he nods and signals that. What were our words?
We are the Oathsworn.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was like a half a sentence.
Yeah,
I remember it's not like we delivered a stirring speech here.
Right.
Considering your words, he nods and signals the gatekeepers, waving a blue cloth. Even from this distance, you can hear the turning of great gears as weights shift. Move forward fast and steady, he commands. I missed the instruction before that. All Oathsworn gain a redraw token.
Hey.
So I've helped myself to 2. And then I'm hitting continue. Screams from the rear of the lion reach your group as you usher everyone toward the gates. I knew it, the captain swears. Close the gate! Close the gate! They've awakened the Deepwood! You turn and see people in the tree line being thrown. Petitions from the refugees rise to a loud crescendo. We cannot risk a breach. The captain retaliates? I feel like he would
Retorts, maybe.
I was thinking reiterates. But no, I guess retaliates against their cries for help. Like, could be. Anyway.
No.
You don't verbally retaliate?
No.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
You've brought a danger to this city, and it's my job to protect it, not you. You turn, draw your weapons, and head to the back of the line. Perform a round of combat against Defense 6.
Okay, we remember how that works.
Yes. Definitely. So, do we actually need to check how that works?
Do you?
I remember roughly how encounters work, but specifically the interaction of a round of combat during story, I am a little.
So the way it works is we're going to perform a single round of combat. Each Oathsworn must draw a single attack against the enemy.
Okay.
Combat tokens may be used, but special abilities and item abilities may not.
Right.
To perform this attack, you draw any number of your character's might cards, and then white cards if you want. 2 or more blanks, you miss. Otherwise, the attack hits, and the sum of all the numbers on the cards drawn is the damage dealt. If the damage dealt is equal to the defense, you succeed. If not, you fail.
Okay, so the defense is 6.
I think I said 8.
No, 6. If I said 8, it's because I misread it.
No, I don't know what that's okay, so we need to hit a 6.
Okay, so we're doing 4 attacks basically, and we're trying to hit 6 as many times as possible.
Right.
Because presumably it might care whether we hit it 2 versus 3 times or whatever. Okay, I can start us off, I guess. Thera, my ranger, gets 2 yellows from her gnarled tom, and then
you can't use items, right? That's what it said.
None of the effects of them, but you do get the might dice impacts. So I guess I feel like the white deck is pretty good right now. We got 3 blanks out. So I'm gonna just take 2, and they should be helpful.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So a yellow 1, a yellow 2. I'm at 3. 4, 5. Oh no, and a blank. Well, I'm 1 off. Let me use one of her tokens to redraw that blank. There we go. That now crits into a blank.
That's perfect. Wow. I was about to say you should roll.
I know. As soon as I took that card, I was like, oh no, I should have just rolled a die. But, it worked out. So, okay, so that's 1 hit. You want to take one of your characters next?
Sure. So both my characters have a single black die.
Ooh.
I'll go with the priest first, Mediolius. And so
Do you remember
what are on these.
I was just going to pull out a black die so we can see. It looks like 2 blanks as always, and then the crit side is a 5, there's a 4, and 2 3s. So there's a great... odds are, if that's not a blank, it's at least a 3.
Right. So I think I'll probably take that into whites.
Okay. 3. 6. Well done.
That'll do.
All right. I guess I'll go in next with the Harbinger. 2 yellows. And 2 yellows, 2 whites worked last time.
Well, before you reveal, how many blanks are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 1 blank in those plus 3 more cards.
And I'm actually worried that one of the yellows will be blank, in which case I think I need more numbers coming from whites. So I'm going to take a 5th card, a 3rd white.
Okay.
Okay, so got a crit yellow and a blank. A 1, and a 2. Well, that's enough right there. So I will just roll a die, I guess, for the yellow. I should probably just have these dice outside of this.
You don't need to roll.
I got the fancy bag. That's true. It's not important, but I guess I would just want to have like 1 of each on the table.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I got the fancy bag, but it doesn't make it quite as easy to just grab a die. There, I have followed the rules. Okay, that's 3 out of 4 hit, or 3 out of 3 so far.
Right, and now it's going to be...
Can you make it unanimous?
The Ursus. I mean, the thing is, if I got a blank black, that's pretty much over. But we'll see. So black, and then I think one of these 2 is blank.
You want to just burn through them then?
So I'm going to take both of them, and then... Oh wait, what if I wanted to take another white die? Would I shuffle these 2 too?
I don't think so.
Okay. So
it still is a little like it still has the slightest weird effect on the odds of that deck then, because those are not getting into the next trip through the deck. But
right, but one of them's blank, so
yeah,
it's like
that's a pretty good thing then.
Bad,
yeah.
Oops. Okay, I'm gonna take 1 more of these, which I'm gonna pull from the middle because it's the first one. There we go. And let's see what we got. 3.
Wow. So we've hit 3 times already.
Yeah, I think 3 is enough.
I will leave it up to you whether it's worth any redraws.
Because my Ursus only has 1 redraw token left, I think I'm going to save it for later.
Okay. So I will hit continue, and we will see what happens with 3 hits. Fiends of flesh and fur claw at the ragged line of survivors. People are dragged into the trees to never be seen again, and you know it will not take long now that the Deepwood has woken. Between cleaving arcs of your weapons, you look back at the gates. There is no hope of them opening if they fear a breach, even for Oathsworn. You spy the guard atop the walls, staring defiantly at the refugees. He looks back over his shoulder. Oh, wait. I think when you fail, you take a damage.
Okay.
Around combat, right?
Yeah.
You could double check that while I read if you'd like.
Yeah.
So that may be because it didn't like check the outcome. We might have just been fighting for our hit points there.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Because I'm surprised that there's this much text without it like saying if you succeeded or failed. But right. I guess it was all just for the hit points then. There's no hope of them opening if they fear a breach, even for Oathsworn. You spy the guard captain atop the walls, staring defiantly at the refugees. He looks back over his shoulder for a moment and draws back, bowing fearfully. In his place glides the unmistakable form of one of the Watchers. It's capital W Watchers. Draped in black robes and a heavy weighted cowl, you cannot see its face beneath the hood, but you can feel its gaze upon you. It continues considering, and after a moment, raises its raven-headed staff. The gates begin to grind open. The captain of the guard rushes to set warriors at the opening, and you bellow for the survivors to run for the gates! With your backs to the city, at the rear of the line, you stand as a shield for the survivors, and as the last few step through, you bolt for the opening. All Oathsworn perform a survival check, difficulty 3.
And so, we do not have any bushcraft, which would allow us to do redraws on survival checks.
Ah, that's a shame. Yes. Okay.
Alright, so we have to just do it.
We have to just do it. So... yeah, we're just drawing whites for this, right?
Yep.
Okay, I guess for the Ranger, we're just looking for 3. I'll draw 3 cards. That'll do it.
There you go.
For the Harbinger, I guess I'll do the same. That will do it. I'll just roll a die for the crit.
There you go.
Here's the deck.
I mean, I'll continue drawing 3 cards.
Yeah, so far it's worked. Whoa, okay. Burned some extra value there, but you passed.
That was the priest, and then the bear. I'm going to draw... wait, how many blanks are in there?
Only... Oh, 4 are, actually, so that's pretty good.
Here. Alright, I'll draw 3 then.
Okay.
No.
Ah.
And it's the bear again.
It is.
Someone
oh man.
lose another health on the bear, I think?
It doesn't say. Oh, the buttons say if all succeed or if any fail.
Okay, so 1 second.
So
I will do a redraw.
Or you can resolve that crit first, so that you'll know whether all you have to do is redraw a blank, right?
Problem is, if I redraw, there's 3 cards left and one of them is a blank, right? Or none of them blanks.
I think none of them are blanks.
Is that right? 2,
Yeah, actually.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
So if you want to keep things interesting, you could roll dice.
No. I'll just redraw that one.
Great, we've done it. Oh, why did you burn those non-blanks for?
Because I felt like
crits?
all the crits were out.
Yeah, that's possible.
Just
Okay,
ones. I
okay.
don't know.
So we're shuffling the deck up again.
Yeah.
Okay, then we all succeeded. All Oathsworn gain a redraw token.
Amazing.
Okay, oops, that's Empower. Here's redraw.
Everyone's getting more and more tokens except the bear, which is just reusing her token.
Oh, yeah.
Getting it back.
As you break from the trees, archers fire down into the masses of flesh that chase you. You fling yourself through the gate just in time as it clamps shut. Beyond the wall, bestial howls rise in frustration.
They were hungry, just like Bender.
Oh, he is over there chewing on a Himalayan cheese, I think, something like that.
Nice.
So if you're hearing a grinding sound on the audio, it's Bender. Wow, this is a long. I was like, I'm gonna pass the iPad to you as soon as we get to time 1 and just do it that way. This has been a long, location, but I'm guessing we're almost done. Covered in rain, sweat, and blood, you gaze around at the survivors. A cheer goes up. They clasp hands to your shoulders, crying and thanking you. Everyone knows who saved them. Officials come from the gate offices with sticks and tallying boards to check the survivors' condition and make sure they brought none of the Deepwood in with them. After a time, the survivors begin to disperse into the city, but not before they gather up iron from amongst them as a reward. Ooh. All Oathsworn gain 1 iron for each. Gain 1 iron each for every refugee the free company has, location tokens and time tokens. If you have 5 or more refugees, also gain a free company trait. Mark this on your company sheet.
So we have
7.
6.
6.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember us being low on rations. But it's a good thing that we decided to keep these on. Yeah. This is a pretty good reward. So
it's more than 5, right?
So we get 6 iron each. That's great.
Pretty awesome.
That's more iron than we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because we've been getting it in 1s and 2s per character.
Yeah. And we have to pick a trait.
And then a free company trait. Yeah.
So we have a lot of options here.
We do. So last time we did get so many items that we had to discard down to our backpack limit of 12. So right off the bat, endurance, which increases our capacity to 20, is interesting. But any one of getting over the next few traits, also getting like 1 into each of these redraws on certain types of challenges also seems pretty good. I don't know. What do you think?
I was looking at True Grit. When you get an injury, draw 2 injury cards and pick 1. I feel like that might be a strong
We're
effect.
just never going to get an injury again.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
Then never mind. I'm down for endurance then. Or we have a bunch of money. We might want to go to the banksmith or apothecary.
Oh, what's that? What's
so well
say?
connected says sending a runner to the banksmith or apothecary no longer costs additional iron, which I don't remember how much it normally costs extra.
I don't either. Remember how much that costs. But yeah, and then other options are like gain 2 curatives each time you purchase 1, which we've never done, but we've never really had the money. So we could take Herbalist and buy 1,000,000 curatives.
It costs as much as the current chapter. Sending armor.
Okay. That's also what items cost, right? So it's like it's the cost of an item.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm down for...
I still lean endurance, but...
That's fine. I'm down for endurance.
Yeah. All right, let's do endurance then.
All right, so
I'll
we'll
just
flip our backpack card to the other side that also says backpack card.
Perfect.
You'd think they'd have a different piece of art, but no.
You would, yeah. Okay, and we marked that on here, so that's great. Lose all refugees and rations. And I think we do have how many rations did we have? It's noted on the back of our sheet. We had 3, so I'm just erasing that. I'm leaving the word rations because it sounds like that's a mechanic that will get reused. Lose all refugees and rations, place all location and time tokens back in the supply, and erase your rations from the free company sheet. The captain from the wall approaches. He removes his helm. It wants to see you. Follow me. He leads you through the swarms of people and up a stairway that clings to the side of the outer walls of a room. He stops at the top and points, unwilling to go any further. It is unclear if it is shadows that hide the Watcher's visage, or if its very face is made of them. It walks slowly to the edge of the wall and looks at the new crowd you've brought with you. "Report!" a rasping voice commands from within the cowl. It listens as you detail the fall of Bastogne, the keening cry of the witch, and the trials of the Deepwood. Although its robes pulse and flow with the wind, it seems not to move nor react to any of your tales of woe. "Leave me," it says finally. You all too gladly retreat from it. There are many unnerving things in the world, but the Watchers really set your teeth on edge. In the weeks that follow,
Wow.
you acclimatize to civilization. Not long after the events of the gate, a runner brings you an envelope. Opening it, you find a note in fine script, and this is what it says. "In acknowledgement of your great service to the crown and to the fallen city of Bastogne, and on the authority of His Royal Highness King Fabian, you are given a deed of title to the following property. 1 tavern of Tonson Lane, Old Town." We own a bar now?
We own a bar. This is very Malazan, sort of.
I don't know what that is.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's a series of fantasy books.
"Needs a tad of cleaning, but nothing these old hands can't fix," Bram says as he rolls up his sleeves and enters the abandoned tavern behind you. "It's a fine hall," Midge nods, bounding in and surveying the surroundings. "I would reckon you hang trophies over there, eh? Maybe a nice table by the fire to play some pyramids and such? You can make this place quite the center of town with my help." "I do feel," Grey Cane adds as he gently shoulders by you, "the addition of a few serving girls might brighten the place a bit." Grey Cane. With your friends suddenly moving old furniture and fueling the fires of their imagination, you realize that they might actually be right. "Our Lady is back. Bless her, she's back," Bram says with a tear in his eye. "Who?" asks Midge. Bram turns to the lad with a faint smile on his face. "The Broken Oak." Oh, so we're just letting Bram have the bar again?
And look, it's right here, the Broken Oak.
Oh, it's already been named for? I assume that was the name of his tavern in Bastogne?
It was.
Yeah, so, and it's just... Alright. We didn't get any input on that, but sure.
Nope.
Gain a free company trait.
Wow.
Yeah, we get another one. And then we're going to place location 7 and go there. So, once more, did you want to do the injury and the true grit, or, I think, yeah, these were all good ideas.
Yeah, they all seem good.
Tough as nails is also not the worst thing.
Yeah.
It's a one... Someone gets a 1 hit point heal at the start of the encounter, so kind of recovering some from any story losses.
Yeah, sure. I'm fine with that.
Especially because we're getting this at presumably the start of what is still going to be a decently long story chapter. I think I like the checks.
Oh, really? Okay.
Upgrades. I don't know. What?
That's fine.
Stop just agreeing.
I think Tough as Nails, True Grit, or Well Connected are all better than those, but...
I guess we're like, for Well Connected, like we just upgraded our bags because they're so jammed full. So how important is it that we go buy gear?
Well, no, it's also to go sell gear, right?
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah.
And really what it's doing is it's saving us time on the time track. Because otherwise we could just go there and we wouldn't have to send a runner.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's time or money. And money's been tight. I don't know. But I'm fine with True Grit or Toughest Nails. I mean, if you really want one of these redraws, that's fine.
Okay, I don't think we need True Grit. I think we will just never get injured.
Okay.
So...
If we're going to pick one of those 3, I would pick Quick-Witted, because it's the funniest.
We are better at bartering, threatening, and reasoning.
Yes.
I think that's pretty cool, actually.
That's fine.
I like that. All right, let's do Quick-Witted.
All right.
Okay, so we get one redraw on those checks now. All right. So place the 7, and then we go there. So it's going to just immediately go on our time track, yeah? And then... Finally, I hand you the tablets, and you hit the location 7 button, and we, I guess, hang out at the bar for a bit.
Location 7, the Broken Oak.
Right.
The new Broken Oak smells of wood, ale, and sweat, just as any tavern should. It has taken weeks of Bram commanding a team of men paid in food. Oh my god. Grey Cane gathering people to lend a hand, and Midge taking credit for everything else. The people of Bastogne come to offer thanks and share a simple meal of root and potato porridge. They are settling into Varum and come to you sharing stories of their new homes. They speak of the overwhelming hugeness of it all, of new jobs, new lives, the strange plant-like addendry living in the green streets, and even of a strange sickness being found in the cobbles. The oak becomes a gathering place for the remnants of Bastogne, and without meaning to, you gain a band of regulars more than happy to raise a mug in your honor and tell of the comings and goings of the city. For a time, all is well, and you can forget the nightmares of the fall of Bastogne.
So the cobbles are up here. That was mentioned. Was there one other location mentioned?
The Green
There was
Road.
a disease at the cobbles.
The
green streets up here. What was said about those?
That's where the addendry live, which are these plant-like people.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And
fun. Okay.
that is fun. And the other thing to note is like they talk about how big the city is, and you can tell from this map that this is like a wealthier city with higher walls. I don't know if we mentioned that on stream already.
You're not really. Yeah, you're right. It looks like more of a metropolis than Bastogne did.
For sure.
Like this is a city. Bastogne was a town.
Right.
Kind of.
All right. Instruction. All Oathsworn return all injury cards to the injury deck and reshuffle that injury deck.
Well, we don't have any injuries because you drew a lucky card last time.
Right. Days later, you descend the main stairs to the Hunter's Hall. Arrayed before you is a comfortable scene of patrons and allies dotted about the room. At the bar, Great Cane takes a sip from a mug and coughs, sputtering, "Seven hells, what is that?" Across the bar, Bram furrows his eyebrows. "Did you decant this from an Ursus's chamber pot?" Great Cane continues. "It's not that bad. I rather like it," Molly, one of the serving girls, says, smiling encouragingly at Bram. "Don't encourage him, Molly, or he might make another and finish me off," Great Cane replies. Taking a swig, Bram says, "It needs a little something. I'll get it right. Just needs some experimentation." Great Cane looks over his shoulder, noticing you. "Aye, good morning. Some news came earlier. Looks like there's a contract. There's time enough for that, though. I know some of the others want to talk to you."
Whoa.
Talk to each ally once. Oh, there's
Wow.
A lot of these.
And there's a button saying like if these are your allies.
Right.
So we're not doing all of them, right?
Right.
But
So
let's get
let's
our
go
stack
through
of
these.
allies.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Lady Alana's not one of those listed here.
Do we want to just go through the buttons
sure.
and we'll check? Is that the
Lysine?
best way to stay organized? We have Lysine.
Okay. Lysine beckons you over to a table where she cuts some fresh herbs. "You've seen what I am, and still you let me stay here. Thank you." Lysine speaks.
Yeah, she was in her. It mentions the apothecary, or her. She has a subtitle apothecary. She was the one who was the witch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
"I wanted to repay you. There was space enough for an herb garden on the roof, so I've begun planting. I have some amber so the plants will grow shortly. I'll be able to tend to your wounds and do service to the city." That's nice.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, nothing happens though.
Nothing happens.
She didn't tend to your wounds. She just will someday.
She will. Well, now we have an herb garden.
Right. Okay. +1 herb garden.
Right.
I'll write that on the sheet.
That's right. Is Cedric our ally?
Cedric? No.
Okay,
We have
what
no one
about-
named Cedric.
The mute boy.
I don't believe so.
I don't
No.
think I've heard of the mute
Okay. Yeah. This is wow.
right,
Several
what-
characters we haven't encountered.
boy. What about Celeste?
Celeste, we have.
All right.
She is the Underways overseer.
Celeste, dressed in her best, is cleaner than you have ever seen her. Going somewhere, you ask? To get my hands dirty. I've made progress with the Underway's bosses here. They're having a jackbug problem, and I think I have the answer. Today I finally get back underground. Your hospitality has been noted, but the Underways is on the other side of the city, and I must be closer to work for efficiency. I thank you, and want you to have this. She takes out a pale root from her satchel. This is a maiden's kiss. It's rare and good for what ails you. I hope you don't find need of it, but, well, there it is, just in case. She straightens, and without looking back, heads out the door. Archive the Celeste ally card and gain 1 curative.
A curative. Do we have... We only have one box of cards on the table. Does it have the curatives? It does.
And Celeste goes away.
Archive her. Okay. Goodbye, Celeste. So I'm just going to try to keep my game organized and put her back where she numerically goes in this deck. That's done. And then those are events. So curatives, and then here's the injury deck. So say one more time what that actually said. Is it just
Gain 1 curative.
Gain 1 curative. So that means take a curative, and they're all the same, right?
Yeah.
They're all the same. Shuffle it into the injury deck.
Right.
Okay.
And now if Dane is our ally, which I believe he is.
Dane? No.
No?
We don't have anyone named Dane. I don't. That doesn't ring a bell to me.
Oh, I don't know why it does to me. What about... We don't have Steet.
Nope.
So, of all of these, we only had Lysina and Celeste.
That's
There's
the end of the list?
3, 4, yeah.
Wow.
Well, it says if you've talked to each ally we have, and we have a bunch of other allies, but they're not the ones that are named there.
Yeah, I mean...
Does one of them say The Mute Boy as like a subtitle or something?
No, we have Grey Cane the Fableman, Midge, the quote-unquote mayor of Bastogne,
Right.
Bram the innkeeper, Lucky the survivor, and Gamble the banksmith. That's it.
All right, so then that's it.
Yeah, wow, okay.
You walk up to Grey Cane at the bar. He starts, a few days back, the group went deepside, a free company, and 40 loggers went to gather lumber. Only 2 returned. Lord Reiner, a bit of an ass if you ask me, needs the wood still. He asked for you personally. He wants the heroes of Bastogne to look into it and keep the new boys safe. Word of your exploits has gotten around, and the moniker has followed you these last weeks. It seems the city criers have been ordered to expound and embellish your company's exploits to keep men's minds away from the loss of one of the great cities. This forced notoriety upon you, whether you wanted it or not. Grey Cane continues, I know setting up the Broken Oak has taken a lot of your iron recently, and though Reiner may not be bright, he is rich. I suggest you see what the good man has to say about the situation. You agree you need a contract. More than just the iron, you need the practice. Comfort can kill a free company. Place location token 14 and go there.
14. Okay, so we're going to the bridge, and 14 basically goes on the time track.
So we're now at the bridge, location 14. You make your way toward the noble quarter to meet Lord Reiner. Inevitably, you come to one of the old stone bridges that spans the River Seine, or at least what's left of it. Many years ago, the Deepwood sucked dry the river, and now the gutters take its place. Thousands of Varum's poorest huddle there in shacks, clustered in the mud of the riverbed, in the shadow of once great ships, forever moored in the mire. Smoke from flesh. You saw it, snaps a man as he leaps from a spot by the bridge. He is wearing a selection of rags and rats that would make a rat catcher jealous. Doomsayers aren't uncommon in Varum. It's fairly easy to be right regarding predictions of death and destruction with the Deepwood at the gates. You try to dismiss the man, but then he pipes up. And running from the maw, it chased you through the walls until over your shoulders a city falls. That part of your tale was not common knowledge. Who are you? You ask. Unevenly, the crazed man scampers up to you, his face a mask of grime and wiry beard, his age unknowable, under the muck of the gutter. He makes a sign of Pot's peace and bites his thumb. Herald. Herald of what? I prefer the young and old, the wet, the dry, the hot, the cold. Rarely sought, though often found, I visit all above the ground. There is something about the look behind his eyes. He knows more than he should about you, and he knows something else he seems to want to tell you. 2 paths lay before you. The herald is speaking a riddle. If you wish, you can try to decipher it. Or you can make your meeting with Lord Reiner. You will not have time to do both, so you have to choose one.
Huh. Could you read the riddle one more time?
Yes. So he said his name was Harold, and we asked, Herald of what? And his response was, I prefer the young and old, the wet, the dry, the hot, the cold. Rarely sought, though often found, I visit all above the ground.
I prefer the young, I visit all above the ground.
I think it's just death, right? I prefer the wet, the young and the old, the wet, the dry, the hot, the cold. Rarely sought, though often found, I visit all above the ground.
That actually does... Yeah.
Probably just death, right? I mean, the problem with these sorts of riddles is they're often just death. Like, the answer to many riddles.
How many ways
like
can you say
death? Yeah.
Like, I do think death. I can't think of a better answer than death. And I guess we don't, like, the button says try to decipher the riddle, right? Like,
yeah, write down what you think is the correct answer.
So okay. So I was wondering, like, do we have all the information we're going to have, and it's asking us to give an answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The wet, the dry, the hot, the cold could be something else, like... Then other than death? Like,
yeah, I was thinking that's what had me thinking about like the wind or the sky or something like kind of in the I visit all above the ground.
It could be the sun, but I mean I feel like the sun
I don't
doesn't
think
prefer the young and the old.
Yeah. That's the thing that I can't think of.
And death can still be the wet, the dry, like the hot, the cold for certain, like for fever or you know, frostbite or whatever.
Also, death is something that makes some sense you know, in a fantasy setting, in a madman or whatever, to say you're the herald of.
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to, like, if the answer was, like, a maple tree.
Right.
A weird thing to be a herald of,
right?
right?
It could also be a rat.
I prefer the young and old, though.
I don't know. I mean,
I think that's what clinches. That's what makes me really think you're right.
Yeah.
On death is the young and old thing.
And I visit all above the ground because, like, well, you know, everyone dies.
Right, and then you're below ground.
Right.
So no more need for death.
Right.
So is that what we want to do, or I mean, I guess it seems to me like the design here is if you think you know it, choose that, and if you don't think you know it, say like, is there a world where we think we know it but still want to go talk to Lord Reiner?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I know. I think the riddle's more fun than meeting some dusty old lord, but because he's asked us to go chop down some wood, so like that's pretty boring.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually couldn't remember what we knew about him so far, probably because it was that boring.
Yep, that's right. He sent a company out previously to chop down wood, and they all died. You know, so.
Okay. So they went out. I mean, I guess where else would you chop wood other than the Deepwood?
Yeah.
It just seems like kind of a mundane thing to die for.
Right.
So death.
Okay. I think we have to write it down, although we don't have to.
Yeah, I think we're saying into the camera it's death. It's hard to cheat from there.
If your answer to the herald's riddle was death,
yeah.
then otherwise.
All right.
All right. All Oathsworn gain a battle flow token.
Oh yeah, of course. Death is known for its battle flow qualities.
Okay, this is the last page for this location, then I'll pass this to you. A gap-toothed grin stretches the herald's face. Death. Yes, death is the answer, and life is the question. Are you them? No matter. Time or death or both will tell as they always do. I have forgotten the answer. I was so much older then. He looks quickly to the side as if there was a loud noise. Following his glance, nothing is there. I know, but I know not where. I say I do, but I don't. Time to go. The room is vast, and the memories, so many, lead on. Where to, you ask? The man calling himself the Herald gives you a quizzical look, as if you should know this part already. Oh my god. Neither here nor near in shell of shell. No green hand here does dwell. Blood trickles out amongst the stones, seeping still from pile of bones. For all his ramblings, the Herald seems to want to show you something important. And then we can choose the location to go to.
Oh, wow.
And our options are 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 13, 15, and 19.
I saw there's an instruction button hit too, although it might just explain, like, use the riddle to decide where to go.
Find the location on the map the Herald is talking about. Place tokens 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 13, 15, and 19. Okay, so the first question is...
Do you have these numbered?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got the Cobble. Right, number 2.
The church is number 15.
King's Gate is number 3, was one of them?
Yep.
Wow, okay.
And 4.
And
19
4
is the
Green
Banksmith,
Streets.
which we know we can go to. 6, 9, 12.
6 is the Apothecary. 9 is the Tavern. But not the Broken Oak. It's another tavern, I guess.
12 is the Barracks, and 13 is the Market. So
Barracks, Market. Okay.
I'm guessing that the answer is not any of those.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I mean, here's the clue again. Neither here nor near in shell of shell. No green hand here does dwell. Blood trickles out amongst the stones, seeping still from pile of bones. And so my thought is, that sounds like not the Green Streets.
Agreed. Yeah, no green hand. Like, that seems like it rules that out.
Right. And
Even though I want to go there because it sounds cool.
It does sound cool. Neither here nor near in shell of shell.
Shell
of shell.
There's a wall on the interior of the...
Right. I think that's probably what it means. And neither here nor near in shell of shell. So
of our options here, and nothing's pointing us to the gate, I don't think. Or really this miscellaneous tavern. So it's like if we do think it's one of these, I guess it's the Cobbles. And like all that we know about the Cobbles is, I mean, well, Cobbles are stones, and it mentions stone, right?
It says blood trickles out amongst the stones, seeping still from pile of bones.
And we know that there's a disease or something spreading there.
Right.
So, or like the stone reference, like there's also something here that's just labeled Black Rock. So it could be, you're right, if it's not one of the options currently, it could be we want to head in that direction so that it appears.
Could be. The other one is the Lyceum. I'm not sure exactly what a Lyceum is, actually.
But that's inside the...
It is inside. Neither here nor near in shell of shell. So, yeah, so it must be out. You're right. It must be outside this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the question is, can we be correct yet, or is it a multi-step travel?
I'm still down to go to the cobbles, because that does seem like our best bet.
I think so. And it was one of the kind of 2 points of interest mentioned earlier also, right? The cobbles and the green streets. So,
oh, was it? Okay.
yeah.
All right. Sounds good. So, here you go.
All right.
Choose a location to go to.
So that's number
and actually,
2.
we are going to hit city events.
Yeah.
So we're going to resolve that first.
I think so. So why don't you draw us the bottom card of a city events?
Should I be shuffling this before we do it?
It can't hurt to give it a quick shuffle. What do we got?
A man surrounded by a small group of observers offers to play a game of cups for 2 iron each, with 2-to-1 odds. Cups is a speed game you have seen before. You just have to guess which of the 3 cups the ball is under. Each Oathsworn chooses if they want to play the game.
That sounds like a spot or search check to me. It's the keen-eyed trait would have probably upgraded our ability here, which makes sense. We did not go with that one. No. So we'd be going in with just, our regular ass spotting
odds.
skills. We do have spending money though.
We do.
We've gained a lot of it lately.
We do.
Like Thera, my ranger, is sitting at 11 iron. It's the price is 2 is the amount that you gamble.
Yeah, 2 iron each.
So if only to see what happens, I'll at least do it with her.
Okay, and I'll do it with Elspjorn.
Okay.
So we'll do 2 of them.
Okay, so we'll do those 2 characters, and I guess let's see what happens.
Each Oathsworn that chooses to play performs a speed check, difficulty 6.
Speed check? I don't think that was one of the upgradable options. I kind of thought that maybe these would cover all of the potential story checks, other than combat, I guess.
But no.
All
right.
Okay.
If all Oathsworn fail, each Oathsworn who played loses 2 iron. If any succeed, all Oathsworn gain 2 iron as you catch the man in the act.
All Oathsworn, not just who played?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So, speed check difficulty 6 seems doable. We just passed a bunch of 6s.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, why don't you go first?
I'm gonna be fairly conservative with 4 cards, and if I fail, then maybe you'll want to be riskier.
Let's see.
Blank, 1, 1. Okay, well, so I did fail, and I made the deck a little better for you.
Yeah.
It could be that you don't need more cards because your odds of these cards being helpful is so much higher.
I'm between 4 and 5 cards. I'm trying to decide. Let's go for 4 because there's hopefully a crit in there.
And how many redraws does the bear have right now?
Just 1.
Yeah, it would have been nice if... Well, I mean, I guess... Yeah, no, I don't want to use mine, but... Oh, no! Wow.
So I would have to redraw into a crit to succeed.
And we haven't drawn any of the crit cards, so, like, the odds of that are reasonable, but... Should we just cut our losses and not spend the redraw?
I wish I'd done this with the priest who has
all these redraws. Yeah, we didn't think about that.
No.
Up to you. I don't... It's like the consequent... The cost benefit here are both fairly minor.
I'm going to spend it because it's either we lose 4 or we gain 8, so it's a 12 coin difference. That's kind of a lot.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Damn. Well, wow. Our deck is in good shape.
That's true.
five blanks out of the white deck.
And no
crits. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a silver lining as we spend 2 iron from each of the 2 characters who played.
Yeah. We probably should have had all of them do it.
Yeah, it's interesting. So it would increase the potential losses, but increase your odds of succeeding.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Anything else on there?
No.
All right. Then.
I mean, there is some little text here. As he reveals the chosen cup, you grab the other 2 and show them empty. His eyes glance at the bowl of iron on his table. He goes for it, but you are quicker, slamming his hand.
That seems like what happens if you catch him in the act. Like what?
Maybe.
Like he's cheating in some way, and we catch him cheating.
Yeah, you must be right. All right, so this gets archived. Oh no, yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Okay, I'll just set it over here. Sort it later.
Alrighty.
Okay, we're at the cobbles now.
Amazing.
A thick malaise shrouds the cobbles. The sounds of the rest of the city seem dampened and distant, as if the air is bloated with pestilence. Word of the sickness had reached you through Grey Cane, but you couldn't imagine it had spread so fast. Not everyone is affected, of course, but so many of the faces you see in doorways and windows carry grief, and wet coughs break the cloying silence. You each pull out cloths and fashion makeshift masks to breathe through. The herald signals you to follow. That seems like a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Several streets later, you ask him what he's looking for. The more you take from it, the bigger it gets, he mutters, searching the walls. Instruction, write down what you think the answer to this latest riddle is.
What does it say again?
The more you take from it, the bigger it gets. And he's searching the walls of these streets.
The more you take from it, the bigger it gets.
A hole?
Yeah, a hole. Yeah, that has to be what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're guessing a hole. If you answered a hole.
Wow.
All right.
These were probably very easy riddles, but they make me feel good anyway.
Yeah. Well, nice. And I just appreciate that this is another chapter of the story that feels different. Like they're all kind of or they're mostly sort of you're solving a mystery of some kind, but this is just a very different type of activity. And so,
plus, we might have missed this entirely if we went to talk to the Lord who wanted to send us off in the woods.
Yeah, who knows? But maybe that's even cooler.
Maybe.
We'll never know.
I mean, you might know eventually.
That's true. I might play another campaign someday, yeah. Ducking through the hole reveals a small courtyard beyond, shouldered between 3 neighboring tenements. Lining the area are small mounds of bodies in various states of decay. The dead, Harold says simply as he emerges through the hole. From the position and broken nature of the bodies, you can see many have been dropped here from the tenement windows high above. Casualties of the cobble's curse. Your brows furrow. Has this all been a waste of time? A madman's search for plague bodies? They should be burnt, of course, but this is barely something the Watch should care about, let alone a free company. You turn to the Herald, as if reading your mind, he points a finger to one of the piles. There, you catch sight of something moving. You draw your weapons and approach with caution. It bursts from the pile.
Oh no.
All Oathsworn perform a survival check.
And this is, again, not what we're good at?
We did quick-witted, barter, threaten, reason.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, the outcomes here are if any succeed or if all fail. So we're just looking for 1,
What's our
2,
difficulty?
6 again.
Well,
So we should be able to do this with this deck. So
yeah, we should.
I mean, don't we know there's only 1 blank in this deck? Can we just flip the deck over and be 17?
Wait, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, shitty gambling game in the
war
streets.
bear will draw all the cards. Oh,
There's no reason. Yeah, there's no reason to do all of them.
So
but,
6. So I'll draw 4.
That should be enough when we know 3 of them are not going to be non-blanks.
Already 6.
Perfect. Okay.
Let's all roll
so
some dice
roll
for
dice for
that.
crits. All right.
Yes.
So we've done it. If any succeed. Your hand shoots out and catches the flying maggot in mid-air, just before it plunged into your ally's face. Some 2 feet long with gaping mandibles, it wriggles violently in your grip, screeching. Tensing, you crush the life from the grub and its wings stop buzzing.
Ooh.
Ooh. You who have painted the next mini, you probably knows that this is foreshadowing.
I don't know. Is it?
Each Oathsworn that succeeded... Oh, we should have resolved the check for everyone. Each Oathsworn that succeeded in the check gains a redraw token.
Why don't we just have the other ones roll dice?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
So I get a redraw for the bear.
Yes,
Good.
Bear gets a redraw.
Bear
We'll just roll 4 dice for each other character, probably.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so for my Ranger, that's a fail. For the Harbinger, that succeed. I'll take a redraw.
And for the priest... Oops.
1, 2, 3. Crit roll. You're at 5 with a crit. But rolled blank.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
2 team redraws. We'll take it. Yeah. You know what this is. That's the entire next paragraph. Reveal the encounter special rules board. Mark the special rules box for chapter 5 on your free company sheet. Okay, so the special rules board says Bloatfly. It's a large type enemy. It has abilities. We can dig into these more later as we get close to the combat, but basically we got to scout what's coming up. It has abilities called Infest, Parasite Emerges. Oh, and then there's a Save the Civilians mechanic again. And it has minions that are flying maggots. Okay.
Presumably we just found one of those.
Sounds like it. Yep. Killed it pretty easily, so it should be smooth sailing.
No problems.
Okay. It may be the source of the plague. Bloatflies have been known to enter cities in search of easy prey, flying over the walls by night to catch the unwary. What you caught was only its larvae, laid in the bodies to gorge until grown enough to leave the nest. Bloatflies do not travel far from a good food source, no doubt retreating to the woods by day and returning at night. There is no specific contract for this beast, but the pact leaves a standing writ of reward for all beast heads that can be proven to threaten a city. So we choose one. Take on this task for the money, or take on this task for the people of the city. So we're actually just locking in a motivation.
That's weird.
It's if I were to guess, we're probably going to gain one type of token. We choose one, and another type of token. We choose the other. It's pretty arbitrary.
I'm feeling like we're doing it for the people because we're rich.
Yeah. Who could possibly need more than 9 iron?
That's right.
Okay, for the people. The wet coughing from inside a nearby tenement makes up your mind. Resolved. You head for the King's Gate. You may start a trade with the banksmith and or the apothecary. If you decide to visit them, it will cost you time.
We can afford time.
And then, wait, so what is this? Sorry. This says, you may start a trade with the banksmith. If you decide to visit them, it will cost you time. And then there are buttons that say, start a trade with the banksmith and optionally the apothecary, start a trade with the apothecary only, trade with neither. I guess, like, is that, I guess it's saying these buttons are visiting them.
Yeah.
It's, so it seems like we've maybe just beelined straight to the solution of this chapter's mystery.
It seems that way.
We did it.
And I think we have 2 time. We'll have one more event if we spend it, but we'll still get this token and the extra unique item on the time tree.
Yeah.
So I think we should visit both, because why not?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Okay, so we'll start with the banksmith?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Oh, it's after that, then it says, would you like to trade with the apothecary? Add a time token to the time track. Oh, before we make our choice.
Yeah.
Add a time token to the time track, start a trade with the banksmith.
So at the banksmith,
yeah, we're gonna need, as I'm gonna awkwardly get up from the table.
It should be in this. It should be in the card box that we already have.
The items for this chapter.
Yeah, you're supposed to put the current item chapters. I thought so.
Oh, I do have. There is a common item deck tab in here.
Yeah,
did I properly use it? Yes, I did. How about that? Okay.
There you go. All right. Here you can start. When you start a trade with the banksmith, take all the cards from the common item deck for the current chapter and place them face up in a row so that all players can see.
Oh, why am I shuffling them? Literally all the cards. Okay.
These item cards are available to buy at the banksmith. Each card costs an amount of iron equal to the number on the bottom/back of the item card.
Okay, so we just get to look at everything for the chapter.
Additionally, any items the free company currently has, equipped, or in the backpack can be sold to the banksmith. Each item can be sold for an amount of iron equal to half the number.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm guessing we're going to want to sell some of these, because probably who cares?
We do have a lot, and we have some from maybe early chapters that are kind of, the dice are a little obsolete. Like, is anyone ever going to want to use a weapon that gives you a single yellow?
Yeah. I mean, actually, the oldest items we have in here are from chapter 3, which...
Oh, okay. Well, so we either broke or are wearing or sold them at some point. I have a unique item from 2.
I have an item from 2, but it's not unique. But I wonder if there's a better version in here. Anyway, we'll figure it out.
Well, we have the option to buy Firewater. It is gear that says if you have not moved yet this turn, gain empowered 3 on an attack. That's actually sounds great for Thera. We have Hunting Knight, Woolen Garment, another Hunting Knife, Quarterstaff, Bacon, Broadsword, Amber, a Pilum, that's sort of a spear it looks like, Journeyman Pouch, Tempered Splint Mail, Pole Cleaver, Ironbark Shield, Longbow, Stitched Leather Doublet, and a second Longbow. Okay.
That's a lot of stuff.
I'm always baffled that this game does this, that it lets you literally look at it gives you like 13 options to pour through, because it really does kind of slow down the flow of the story.
So a few things to note. We have this. We have one of those right here. So we probably don't need another one. Do we have any of these other things? Let's see. Quarterstaff, so we have one of these.
Okay.
So maybe we can like...
Is it identical? It's not. Right? Oh, it is. You were holding it with the... As somebody who scanned all of these cards, I learned that there are sometimes cards that have the same name but are different, but
interesting.
That one does look the same.
We have multiple copies of the Crescent Axe, but none of those are for sale here. Heirloom.
I mean, we have
this art looks like the broadsword, but it's different.
It's slightly different.
Yeah. Oh, the art's different too, actually.
It's kind of, this game kind of does the Clank thing. Like Clank always has sort of a background that's on a lot of its art, and then just the foreground, the actual kind of like subject of the art changes. This is the same where it's like there's only like 2 backgrounds that it keeps reusing.
Yeah.
But this game has literally thousands of cards, so
Well, actually,
I'm not gonna
there's
fault them too much.
This is a different background from this one.
Yeah, there seem to be two backgrounds. There's like kind of the big flat rock and kind of the stacked stones.
Yeah.
And then there's also it's a foresty background that goes on the armor type cards. Anyway, Firewater actually looks great for Thera. If you've not moved yet this turn, gain empowered 3 on an attack since she attacks ranged so much, so that's an option. I'm looking at what else seems interesting.
I'm looking at what else we can currently take. Because there's a lot that we can't.
I mean, right now everyone's like kind of slots are full, but
Well, I just mean items that like our party can't use.
oh, I see.
Like we can't use this pylum.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so we can get some out that way. Yeah,
exactly.
Can we use the hunting knife?
No.
No. Okay.
We can't use this iron bark shield.
Right. Mediolius can use the quarterstaff. Well, you said we already have one, but
do we already have one?
Yeah, I think that's one you said we already have.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
So
let's take that off the table.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this one we already have too.
Okay. All right, we're narrowing it down. So, bacon. If you have, does that mean 4 health, 4 hit points, or less when you use an ability card for its defense value? Use this to treat that card as having a 0 battle flow.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's like you put this in 3 slot instead of putting the card you're defending with in its slot. That does seem pretty cool. Who can use this tempered split? Is that just...
It's both of my
both of your characters.
That, yeah.
Do they both have 3 defense already? Okay, that's just what I was checking. All right.
Is that ability better when you use an ability card for its defense value?
It's the exact same as the bacon.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Except it doesn't have that health, the 4 health or less thing. What is rope? I'm looking at what gear currently Thera has because I think that Firewater is so good. Rope, when you draw 3 or more might cards of the same number during an attack that hits, one enemy has 1 less defense against that attack. That's pretty niche. I think I like the Firewater for her. I might just go ahead. I'll spend her money. I'm going to buy the Firewater.
What I'm realizing is no one can take the broadsword either.
Oh, okay. So here, I'm putting the rope in our backpack. The Avi is the, like,
little diamond?
Oh, it's that, yeah, the little pointy square thing.
Okay, so maybe I haven't been keeping track of that. Maybe the diamond is on
Oh, the pole cleaver.
But we already have that one. The staff,
yeah.
Which I have one of.
The hunting knife can be used.
Oh, okay, so the Avi could use the hunting knife. So maybe consider that.
Yeah, reasonably happy with the walking stick for that. The hunting knife is 1 die, I forget that. It's because it's one-handed, but yeah. Okay, nothing else is speaking to me.
Yeah, no. I mean, this might be good for Thera. Or not for Thera. Actually, no, that's not good for you. Never mind, I take it back.
That's literally what I'm wearing on the Harbinger. But there's nothing else that they can wear. So the only other question is, while we're here, do we want to sell anything that's currently in our backpack?
So what I'll say is I don't care that much about this tome, which lets me use 1 combat token as if it's any other combat token.
Okay.
That seems mixed. I'm wondering if I'd rather have the bacon that's going to let me defend better.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Mediolius is a big breakfast fan.
Mediolius, you know what? I love the theming of Mediolius and his bacon. So I'm going to take it for that reason. So I'll spend 5.
So you're paying 5. Do we want to sell anything while we're here? We have a bunch of stuff in the backpack we probably don't need.
We sure do. So let's go through that. Well,
I think that I don't know how many cards in there are 4 and 5. What happens if we just, to keep this quick, sell everything that's 3 or lower? Because like how many cards are left? Because if we still have at least half a dozen cards after doing that, I might just be fully in favor of
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards are 4 or 5.
Oh.
And only 3 are lower than that.
Wow, okay. I'm just looking at the uniques that we have. I'm surprised we're not wearing these couple of unique items we have. Skewer, none of our classes can use, right? So let's sell Skewer. It's a unique item from the worm, I think. But yeah, we don't have those classes.
It's basically the
we sell it for half its value rounded up or down. It's the what?
What's the name of the? It's a Chris knife.
Oh yes.
All right. Let's see. Is it rounded up or rounded down?
Does it
Round
not
it
say?
up,
Round it up. Okay, so we can sell that for 2.
Okay.
I'll just selfishly take that for Thera because she spent some of her money. I
just took that off. To put on this captain's plate
yeah,
instead.
this chain. Yeah, both of your characters can use it.
Is that
Do you want to hold on to it?
Iron ring mail. Let's see. During the encounter, if there's an adjacent Oathsworn, gain 2 yellow dice for an attack or basic check.
This one is the one that lets you switch out combat tokens.
I think getting 2 dice is better than switching combat tokens.
It's just that's 3 battle flow and this is 1. So that's a big factor.
I see. I still want this.
Okay. Then let's just sell this, right?
Sure.
Okay. So another 2. And let's give that to
Mediolius,
Priest. Refund some of his bacon.
That's right. And then...
And yeah, this heirloom...
2 more.
Get 2 more.
I think we can sell some more of this stuff. We have 2 of these crescent axes, which are one-handed, but who cares?
Okay. Those are 4s? Those are 5s?
5s.
Wow. Both of them are 5s?
They're both... let's see. Yep. Do we want to sell both or just one?
Maybe just 1.
Okay.
Here's 3 for one of your characters, because I took the last one.
Alright. Sold. These are uniques. The pole cleaver, which the Obby could also use.
Yeah, and we don't have to go too hard, right? Like, we have plenty of capacity now, but I do think we keep our gear, because the gear that we have might be what we want to break after the next encounter, so we'll want some more of that on hand.
Alright. Sounds good.
Okay. We're good?
Yep.
Alright. That was productive battle flow.
Yeah. Should we
Or
do the
battle
apothecary
flow,
as well?
Banksmith trip.
Yeah.
Oops, wait. This is... Well, I'll just sort these out later. Okay. It seems like we have time.
Yeah.
We should do the apothecary.
Yeah. We are going to get a city event first, but that's okay.
Okay, so, yeah, it does say add a time token to the time track.
Alright, so you want to read that one?
A group of people approaches you as you move through the city. By their distinct clothing, you recognize they must be from Bastogne. Excuse us, Oathsworn, we just wanted to thank you again for what you did. We saw your companion fall facing the creature. We'll always remember their sacrifice and your bravery. All Oathsworn gain a redraw.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And that's it. Okay. Pretty straightforward event. We're pretty stocked on the tokens.
Yeah. Alright, and now we're going to do the apothecary trade, which is where we can buy curatives, which are the injuries cards you can draw out.
Yes, and I'm guessing those cost the number of the chapter?
Yep, they cost 5 each.
We might as well buy a couple.
Yeah. I'll spend 5 and 5, so I'll buy 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of expensive.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll just buy
we
one.
just buy 2 total, and 1 can be paid for by your characters and 1 by mine.
Buy 1.
I'll also buy 1. The Ranger and Harbinger will pool their money.
You can only buy a maximum of 5 curatives per chapter.
Oh, wow.
No rules update.
Okay, thanks for that.
Okay.
All right, so we've got 2 more curatives getting shuffled into our injury deck. While I do that, why don't you hit continue?
Sure.
Oh, and let's throw a time token on, here we go, on the city event we just did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm worried that we're not going to finish before this because there's a lot.
It's just a token. As long as we get the extra unique item, I'm pretty happy with our time situation.
You raise your oath marks as you approach the impenetrable gate of the city. A guardsman tolls a bell 3 times, and the gate grumbles open just wide enough for you to pass. The guards at the outside post watch as you gird yourselves to travel into the tree line. Marking your compass, you head off to the northwest. As the gate closes, the herald scrambles through to join you. All Oathsworn gain a redraw token.
More redraws, all right.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. You may let the herald join your party. If you do, gain ally card 14, the herald, and add Deepwood event card 29 to your event deck and city event card 26 to your city event deck.
I mean, we've definitely had a more the merrier policy. I don't think we've ever turned down an ally card.
Yeah, I'm down.
He's weird.
I'm down, bud.
I wonder if this might do more harm than good, but I'm still down.
I think it will, but I'm excited about the story.
Yeah,
And
same.
you know, maybe there's another riddle to come.
Did you say a card number? Sorry.
I did. Herald is card 14 in the ally deck.
Okay. It's just Herald. Soothsayer is his subtitle.
And then we also need city event 26 and Deepwood event 29.
26 and
He rolls a
Deepwood
black
event 29.
die, which is pretty good.
Wow. If we fight with him sometime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You are barely into the trees when you hear shouting. Bloatflies are not known for traveling great distances, so it's no surprise to find it so close to the city, as it swoops down into the middle of a company of loggers, whose hatchets and axes are swung too slow as it zips through them. It is a grotesque scene as the abomination plunges its sting deep into a man's gut. His body begins to swell and distort as he writhes in agony, lifted from the ground as the bloatfly hovers on massive, translucent wings. The insectile head flits to your free company and you see nothing. Nothing at all in those cold, faceted eyes. Not waiting to find out what happens next, you charge the gargantuan insect. If you have the mystery chest, open box 5.
And this is where we normally show the miniature for the next one, but on this real life day that we're recording this, you didn't bring it over to my house. So
bring it.
Cliffhanger for next time. You'll get to see the bloatfly. Yeah.
And spoiler alert, I'll give you a little spoiler.
I was just going to say, why don't you say something about it?
Yeah, it's a big bug, like this big, and it has little minions that are its little baby grubs.
Adorable.
They're not adorable.
No?
No.
We got to get Bender back in here. He hunts bugs.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to go grab him.
No,
For
no.
the next one. Okay, yeah.
For the next video.
Yeah. All right, sounds good.
Okay. What's it say next?
It just says encounter.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, and there's a picture of it.
Oh, yeah. It's probably, is it the same art that's on this encounter board? It is. This is a look at the bloatfly also. Okay. It's going to be back down to just 5 hit point dice. That sounds easy. I'm sure it'll be easy.
I will say mine is not painted white like this.
Oh, you didn't.
I never looked
you
at
haven't looked at the
so mine's,
sure.
Mine's different colored.
That is fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be grotesque.
It is.
Beautiful. Okay, that's it then, right? We just
we did it.
We're done.
That was a nice snappy story. I like the length of that.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice we've finally got cash. I feel like this is the first time that we've I think this is the first time we've considered buying stuff from the banksmith, because we've always been like, oh yeah, some characters have 1 iron and others have 2 or 3.
Yeah, it feels like the previous 4 chapters were kind of an intro in some ways, because we reset everything when we got here. We lost all our injuries.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of money.
Right.
We got some of our allies left. Some of them stayed.
That's a nice
weeks passed. You know.
Yeah, it definitely was sort of a new sort of. I was about to say new chapter of the story, but the chapter is the word it uses for each session, but like a new act of the story or something.
A new book.
And that's also good to know that the story can potentially take away our injuries and stuff, because there are other ways, other opportunities to pay to have them healed and that kind of thing. But so maybe when we think, okay, we might be getting sort of towards the end of this story arc, maybe we would wait on something like that.
Right. Maybe every 5 chapters. And then...
Yeah, because this is also when... Here, Encounter 5 will be our first time using some new abilities, too. Right? Because the abilities come at, I think 2, and then 5, 10, 15. Yeah, so we're going to...
Oh, that's exciting.
It is.
Oh, I'm sad we're not going to play this in real time right now.
Yeah, but I'm glad we got back to it.
Yeah,
it had been a while. I'm glad we got it back on the table, and it's got me excited to go fly swatting.
Me too.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you. For the would you call this a game? Did we just play a game?
I'd say we played a game.
We gamed.
We gamed.
Yeah.
We certainly gamed.
Thank you for watching. I don't think I remember to say this yet. Hit the like button, please, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We appreciate it. You can also catch Jordan on the Game Brain podcast. Yeah. Wherever you get your podcasts. Yeah, I listened to your episode on Arcs.
Oh, did you like it?
Ago. Was that still your most recent episode?
Yeah. Well, not the most recent episode of the podcast, but the most recent episode I was on. Which
Got it.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. I did like it. I wasn't surprised to hear the praise heaped upon it.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a really good episode of our podcast. I was proud of it. Matt did a lot of work organizing it up front, so I think it came out really well. So I would definitely recommend that episode.
And fellow Optimal Play regular Drew was on there as well.
That's right.
Yeah, everyone but me.
Everyone but you.
I had not played nearly as much Arcs.
No. Yeah, we played 20 games plus each. So yeah. Oh man, it's a lot of Arcs.
Which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, videos on the channel. Arcs, pretty good game,
and more coming soon.
That's the plan. Yeah. And then, anyway, we'll be back with more Oathsworn, Arcs, and more. Till then, be optimal.